Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll be starting soon. This is the royalty-free Sonic remix. Hello, Jimmy, and Hido J. Thanks for coming. Hello, Snowpel Lights. Mr. Loaf, Mr. O'Neill, welcome. Yeah, Sonic ads have been all over Twitch lately. Ryan should get some residuals. Oh, he said he'll take a license. Alrighty, let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first official episode of Homebrew Live. You thought you were coming for PinTech Live, but we tricked you and brought you something even more exciting, which is Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball and Ryan McQuaid himself in the flesh with his game to show off how amazing it is. And then up there, you can see, is Crystal, who is working on her own homebrew game and her journey. So a lot of this podcast, see, because I see Crystal's face and I instantly associate her with podcasting. Uh, a lot of this live stream journey is to help Crystal get the knowledge she needs to make her game. So how y'all doing?
Good.
I didn't know this was the first ever Homebrew Live.
Surprise!
I thought this was just a thing.
It's a thing now. It's a thing we've been talking about for a long time. Yeah, exactly. And, when we go to shows, we try to do like the Pinball X-rays where we open up the games. We got to do that a little bit at MGC last November, and hopefully we'll do some more of that at MGC Midwest Gaming Classic here in 3 weeks. We would love to. Yeah, we'll get you in our booth and then do another kind of walkthrough where we'll take the game up and kind of look at the details and
look at my massive rat's nest of wiring.
I'm sure it looks great.
It's not that bad. It's fine. I've seen bad. Mine's not that bad.
So everyone in the chat, feel free to ask Ryan questions. I will feed that to him too. And for those that are here for our 24-hour free domestic shipping and $10 off international shipping code, you can see it right at the bottom. It is in all caps, HB-Spinball.
Ooh, hold on, I gotta write that down because I need.
We do have a homebrew category on our website now too that you can find lots of pinball parts that can help y'all on your journeys to creating your own homebrew machines, and we are constantly working on adding more to that list, which I think, Crystal, you're kind of taking the lead on that a little bit too. Crystal does a lot of the website products and
I've been working on it a little bit. Anytime I come across something in one of the pin dev channels, I'll be like, oh, I can add that to the homebrew category.
Let me know if you want me to help.
So if anybody has any,
I've been doing a lot of shopping for homebrew, so I can tell you exactly what I wanted to see.
Yep.
Send us your cart and then we'll just add things to the list. Awesome. Well, let's start off with Ryan. Can you introduce yourself and kind of how you got into this homebrew journey that led you to create this epic game that's just been winning hearts all over the pinball community?
And awards too.
And a few of those. So I'm Ryan McQuaid. I was just some random guy you'd meet at the NEPL weekly meetings out here in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. I live in New Hampshire, but I'm originally from Massachusetts. And basically the original story behind how I got into Sonic Spinball was I talked a big game, just like a lot of other people do. It's like, oh man, I would love it if they made this game. No one's ever going to listen to me because my idea is one that only I wanted to exist and, not a million people in the world want. So I realized I'm the only one who's ever going to be able to make this thing. And then this part's a little difficult to phrase correctly, but you'll understand. I was sort of blessed by the COVID lockdown in this one very unique, very linear way, in that I suddenly had a lot of time. Everything about it is horrible, except that I suddenly found myself with the time required to put something like this together. So I had brainstormed it up. I would talk to anybody who would listen about what I would do if I ever was able to build it. I said I would do it someday, and then someday showed up when I suddenly had a year that I couldn't go out or do anything. So then while I was working on it, I started streaming it while I was building, and that during the lockdown months was just really, really like an anchor for me, because I'm sure, Moto, you get it from streaming. It's a wonderful social experience.
That's how we started live streaming, was during COVID. We're like, we can't go to shows. How do we reach out to people?
Yep, and that was exactly it. It's like I can't even go to weekly league night. How do I involve people? How do I get some human interaction? And like, how do I normally when you're building something like this, all your buddies would be watching you do it. They'd help you. They'd be testing it all the way. It's like, oh, I did this stupid thing in my basement. Like, come check it out. But I couldn't even do that. So the only way to get anybody involved was to stream everything, and that kind of kept me just grounded, and it kept me on a little bit of a schedule, and I would just do it as much as I could. So that's really how it all got started. And then it's one of those, I'm going to say hobby because it's an entire hobby in its own. Like, I used to tell people that so my original pinball background is restorations. I would buy project games and I would restore them. And I would tell everybody that playing pinball and restoring pinball machines are two separate hobbies, because they're completely different. And like, I'm not even talking about just like fixing and working on them, because if you're going to own pinball machines because you like to play them, you need to at least learn a little bit of how to fix them, which is why this is such a wonderful channel. I watch it all the time just because I like to hang out with you, but like I can see it's a very educational channel. And we need more sources of like, just casual, how do I do a flipper rebuild? Like, that blows a lot of people's minds, but sometimes it's all they need. So I wouldn't consider that to be its own hobby, just like a little bit of wrench turning. But full restorations, like, you spend more time doing that than you do playing. And to come full circle, homebrew is another whole hobby. So now I have 3 pinball hobbies, and very little time other than that. But it's one of those hobbies that kind of just, you get bitten by the bug, and every single thing you build, the delight of watching something that you designed and built work. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that looks just as cool as I imagined it would be. Or like, that my ramp that I designed works and doesn't even feel like something I made. Seems like something I would find in the wild. Like, you just get each little piece of this massive puzzle can give you this just huge rush of accomplishment. And as anyone who's worked on any pinball machines knows, these are thousands of pieces to each one. And so really it's one big project made up of 1,000 smaller projects. So an entire weekend might be dedicated to like one mechanism or one ramp, but when it's done, you feel like you just finished an entire project. So and then you get to start adding them together slowly over time, and then you end up with something that looks like this, and you can't believe that you did all of that. But then you look back, and I look at each individual piece in this game, and I can remember an entire day or an entire weekend working on it, and getting it right.
It's your baby.
So yeah, it's my baby. But then because it's homebrew, as soon as it's like, all right, it's done, time to take it apart again, because you're never done. So I've been working on other projects for the last couple of months, but I've gotten them. I want to give this one a little bit of love too, because I need a little bit of a break. So I've planned a 3rd playfield design, but I have not started building it yet. I have it designed. There are some major changes in the 3rd one. The second, this is version 2 for anyone who doesn't know. Version 1 I built during the COVID lockdown. I was able to bring it out to 1 public showing where it did great. It was played nonstop for 9 hours and didn't break down. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. You can't see me, but I'm petting the lock bar. There we go. And then I was decided I'm going to bring it to Pinball Expo. I'm going to bring it to Pintastic. And so I said, all right, I have a lot of changes I want to make because it feels clunky. It feels wrong. So I rushed to get version 2 done, and this is version 2. So this is the original design, but with optimizations and like everything really fleshed out, and so it feels smoother and it doesn't feel really experimental. So we'll have another one that'll have some major changes, and it'll probably shoot like crap. And then there'll be a 4th one where we fix all the new problems in that, and that one will be pretty darn good. But I haven't started that one yet. Where I want to bring it out to the shows to have more people get their hands on it first. I see a question in chat. What cabinet did I use for this build?
Yeah.
which version did I do the live stream? I'll answer that afterwards. So this cabinet was originally for a earth shaker. It was never actually an earth shaker though. It was never an earth shaker. It was built by a cabinet maker to be used in an earth shaker restoration. But then he sold the Earthshaker game and the cabinet that he had made for it as like a project. But the person who bought the project was a cabinet restorer. Restorer sounds wrong, but I think that's right. Is that
it is?
What would you restorer correctly? That's
we use the term restorer. It does feel wrong, but I think it's right.
Go here.
It's like marbles.
I'm making a call now. We're going to call them restoration specialists. There it is. That sounds fancier and rolls off the tongue a lot better. So the gentleman who bought that project was a restoration specialist for cabinets. And so he restored the original instead of using the one that had been created for it. And he threw this one up for sale online on one of the Facebook groups. And I bought it because my cabinet guy, Leslie Thompson, the late Leslie Thompson, we actually lost him due to COVID, unfortunately.
Damn.
He told me that it would be the same amount of work to fix the one I had and make it work versus buying the new one. And he said, that one looks like it was well made, get it. So I did.
You had originally had a space shuttle cabinet for your first plan, right?
We had a beat up space shuttle that was donated. I used it as a parts game. It was a wrecked game that still might get brought back to life someday. He wanted to do a hard top for it, but the cabinet was like, he was just going to throw the cabinet away. So he's like, here, you can have this whole thing. Just give me the playfield when you're done so I can, and the harness so I can restore it someday.
Yeah.
And so I gave that to my cabinet guy, Leslie, and he was like, all right, I can restore and modify this because we're going to have to make it deeper to fit all the modern stuff. But then I showed him this Earthshaker cabinet and he said, that's probably the better option. But the space shuttle does live on because all of this trim is from that space shuttle and it has been chopped up to fit. So
nice.
This is what I like to, how do I like to say this? This is a System 11 cabinet with System 7 trim, a Data East coin door. It might be a Data East coin door, whatever Pinball Life sells now that fits literally everything. It has stern playfield mounting. It has WPC size playfield, and there's one more. Oh, it was going to have a spooky speaker panel, but they were out of their own speaker panels when I called them, so they couldn't even sell me one if they wanted to. So I actually hooked up with oh god, I forget his name. He was a wonderful human being. He does the Virtual Pins website. He does cabinets. Does anyone know his name off the top of your head? I feel really bad. I'm horrible with names. Whatever. Virtual Pins, they're great. He actually offered to work with me a lot with it, and I think he sells it now. It's a WPC / System 11 sized speaker panel that has a space for a modern LCD monitor. So that's the Franken cabinet mess that is this cabinet.
It's got a little bit of what flippers? So is it WPC flippers or what's?
Yes, there might be System 11 flippers. They're new. They're I forget which mechs I bought, but I'm using original endostroke switches. I believe they're the same as Twilight Zone. So yeah, WPC flippers would be correct. Yeah, because I'm using the Fliptronic 2. The Fliptronic 2 opto boards for the actual flippers, so they must be Fliptronic.
I like to hear that that there's a mixture of different components to make up these homebrew machines, because that's something that's kind of one of the major intimidating things about starting a project is like, well, if I use Stern blank for blank, but I use WPC blank for blank, is that going to cause problems? So
it causes lots of problems. But they can be overcome. It's just more work. It was less money and more work, which was more important at the time.
Of course.
Sometimes
What type of problems do you run into when you mix a different manufacturer?
So for a quick example, when I wanted to go mount my playfield, I couldn't just install the hardware from the System 11 hinge because that was not what I was using. So I had to go and measure. I actually had a friend measure and find the hole locations for the stern playfield mounts because I just don't know where they go. And that was fine. It worked fine, but it was an extra like couple hours of work to get those in the right place. Whereas if it had the holes naturally, if I had a stern cabinet from the beginning, then they just would have fit. And for example, these rails, these side rails, they fit perfectly, but they were like 6 inches too long. So I just needed to take an hour and my Dremel and cut them off on the long end, because that's literally was the only difference between the two. They were just longer, and it was just 2 cuts, but they needed to happen. So it's just a little bit more work, but if you're gonna need time or money, probably you're gonna need at least some of both. But when it comes down to it, if you have a crap load of time and not a lot of money, you can still do it. And also, if you have a lot of money and not a lot of time, you can still do it. So
do you have any recommendations of, like, if you were going to start this journey over, like, I'm only going to use WPC parts, or I'm only going to use stern parts, or?
So I wouldn't do that, but I would recommend against certain parts. So I took a lot of parts from other games. I actually managed to find some friends who were able to give me some mechanisms, give me some various parts here and there. What parts would I really say not used? Drop targets. Unless you have a nice, like, good mechanism, just buy new drop targets. Drop target mechs are crap. They've always been crap, and the older ones are crap. So I actually had specifically, the game only has 1 drop target. It's a smart drop target, and it's behind Robotnik. It holds the ball in there. And I originally had been given by my good friend Mark Seiden, who is now at JJP. He gave me a Sega smart drop target from a Jurassic Park that he had bought and used for parts for his Metroid game. And it worked, but the whole thing was just a pain to work with. It was massive, it was clunky, it was not reliable. And I put it in there originally because drop targets are expensive. Even a single smart drop target is something like $80. So it saved me $80 and it got me through. And then when I built version 2, I was like, this thing's in the garbage, out of here. Because it cost me more than like 2 or 3 hours of trouble. So it's out of there. So I would say, do use used parts. Make sure you clean them and make sure they're functional, but don't go out of your way to use what you have. Like, spend a little money to save yourself some time and some headaches. Really, it's the headaches. I think I saw a couple.
Cowboy Scott, this game will be coming to MGC, and I already see Chuck Webster and Kristen Gregory. They're fighting over who's going to play it this weekend. Ryan, where are you bringing it this weekend?
Why are you guys fighting? Like, it's not going to be there all weekend, and like both of you haven't played it already.
No, my turn.
Or could come to my house anytime you wanted to. I have good friends with both of them. So it is the game is going to the Double Bull Tap House in Peabody, Massachusetts all weekend. I will be there the entire weekend from open to close, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to do a high score, totally informal high score tournament on it. And on Sunday, we have a pin golf tournament on the other 9 games at that wonderful location. So if you're able to head out there, I will be there all this weekend. We're going to break this. Game's going to get broken down probably tonight to head over there. And it's going to be a really fun time. So yeah, Double Bull Tap House. Come check us out.
How has it been holding up on location, Ryan?
I'm going to say this out loud. Luckily, my house is 100 years old and has real wood. Every time Sonic Spinball has been brought to public, it has worked flawlessly with no problems.
It was great at Expo. He's knocking on
that?
I'll knock on something.
Hard knock.
This game will break down like crazy in my living room, but as soon as it needs to be on its best behavior,
it loves to perform. Yeah.
I was able to say, and I was very happy about this when I brought it to Pinball Expo in Chicago. I did not even need to remove the glass all weekend.
Wow.
We had one stuck ball. It was a hilarious stuck ball. It got stuck on the sticker for the right spinner. But right as I resigned myself to taking, right when I resigned, I got a picture of it. It's in the Stucky Balls group if you haven't seen it. as I went to take the glass off to fix it, the ball fell off the sticker. The sticker somehow reapplied itself, and it was good for the rest of the weekend. So I never actually had to take it off. And when I've brought it one time before, version 1, to the Double Bull Tap House before, and it had one stuck ball in 9 hours, and it was me. I played the game one time all day because I promised somebody that I would play with them. They said, while I was building it on stream, I had one of my viewers, Anthony Kret, shout outs to you, buddy. He has a great stream, by the way, too. If he showed up, that I would play a game with him. And so I was honoring that, and I was the only one to manage to get a stuck ball all day.
That's awesome. Well, since we're on you bringing this out in the public, everyone keeps asking, which shows are you bringing it to? We got a question about Allentown, which is going to be the weekend after MGC. Basically, what games are you going to bring it to this year that you know of?
So the confirmed list for shows is Midwestern Gaming Classic at the end of April, Pentastic New England in Sturbridge, and Chicago Expo in October.
Awesome.
Those are the only 3 that are planned right now. If any more get added to my list, I will let everybody know. But and every time I announce this list, I get immediately 7 other questions. Oh, are you bringing it to this show? Are you bringing it to this show? Are you bringing it to this show? I'm sorry, no. If it's not on that list, then I'm not bringing it there as of now.
You have to convince him, and by convincing him, that means pay for his travel, pay for expenses, get him a hotel room, feed him.
If you get me out there, I'll go to anything. So you ship if you're willing to help me.
He'll do a seminar for you.
I will do a seminar. I will do everything. But you got to get me there, because travel time, all that is expensive, and just the time off from work is hard enough a lot of the times. So
for sure. Yeah, this isn't your full-time job yet?
Anything else. No, it is not. This game was a full-time job for a while there during COVID. It felt like it, but this game is not my full-time job.
Awesome. And real quick in the chat, Mutterfutter, hey, what's up? Asked, have you added a Nedry call out to this game?
I haven't yet. Oh, it's coming though. It's coming. I have a whole pile of Easter eggs I'm going to put in the game, but I haven't yet. And any shout outs to Nedry is one of them. It's definitely going to be, why would Nedry do this? It's not going to be actually him. But that's always my favorite. Yeah, I love that. First of all, that is like one of the best tilt warnings in all of pinball. But I vastly prefer the professor sound alike that's just saying, why would Nedry do this? God damn it, Nedry. Why do you do this to us? Everything's Nedry's fault.
It really is.
So that's gonna go in there. I got an Attack from Mars joke I want to put in there. I got a Medieval Madness joke I want to put in there. We do have the first official Easter egg is in the game, and I'm sure you'll hear it during the thing. I won't ruin it yet, but once it happens, I'll be sure to tell everybody about it.
Awesome. And I dropped your Twitch link in the chat. Everyone go ahead click and follow Ryan, because he is always streaming this game, and what was super special during his building of it, like, it was fun watching your process of building your game too, which you don't always get to see, so
apparently I have my stream open on
awesome.
my headphones.
Good job, Camigo.
You can't hear that, can you? I hope you can't hear my alerts. Hold on, I'm gonna make that not a thing.
Yeah, Big Brother Pinball. We're getting him all the follows.
I'm getting some follows. I can hear them.
This is great. I don't think we can hear it.
They're from OBS. It's an OBS plugin. That's what it is. Okay, that's why you can hear them.
You have 3 days to get it in there, McSquid.
Oh no, you can see them. I can hear it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we can see them. That's cool.
As long as you can't hear it, it's fine. As long as you can't hear it, it's fine.
Oh, wow. We also have Brian Soares in the chat. You may know him from...
Thanks, Gamego, for letting me know.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say Billy Madison, but it was not. I'm sorry. Brian he just won the Twippy for the best custom pinball machine with Rebby Hardy. It's a really good theme. Crystal, you should know.
Oh, you're talking about
was it Billy Madison?
Ferris Bueller.
Oh, Ferris Bueller.
I was like in my head.
I just didn't know what you were talking about.
Ferris Bueller. Yeah, I was like, it's
I wasn't with you on
frame.
this.
It was before. Yeah.
So
Ferris Bueller. Thanks for
much to
joining
my
us.
great shame, I never got to play Ferris Bueller. I was at a show with it, and I didn't get
It was
to
at
play.
Pentastic last year.
It was at Pentastic. They
Yeah.
had this. It was in the VIP lounge, which was why I didn't get to play it because it was in the VIP lounge.
You should have had a VIP pass.
I did, but I still didn't go in there at all. Like my game was out in the free play floor. I was talking to people. I was making sure it was working, and like when I finally got a chance to go play some games, I did it in that room.
Yeah.
The one time I did have a chance to go play it, there was a couple of people already playing, and I was like, I think it was like 3 in the morning. I was
beautiful
exhausted,
game.
so I just went to bed.
Well
so
deserved
I do still owe that
Brian,
game a play.
you need to bring it out to more shows, not just Pentastic. Bring it to other shows. You should. I'll be at
Pentastic again. So I hope it's at Pentastic again. So I don't know where they're based out of, but they brought it to one Pentastic, so maybe they'll bring it to another one.
Yeah, I think they're up in that region, which makes Pentastic a great host for these homebrews. But
we had a growing homebrew show there. We went from 2 in 2019. I think there was 2 homebrews there, and then for 2021 there were like 5.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Although I heard that 9 signed up, but some of them didn't show up, unfortunately.
I mean, it's hard, right? Taking your game around.
Making sure it's working for a show. And unfortunately, a lot of these games, because they're home built, like you don't really build them to move around. So you inevitably have problems when you're shipping them, when you're just, even if you're just scooting them down to your local place, just packing them up, unpacking them. They can end up at a show ready to go and then be dead. So that's unfortunately all too common. But we like to, us homebrew people, we like to band together. We're like a little bit of a family whenever we're at a show. I did this at Expo. I was the first one there, and my game was all set up and ready to go before anyone else started showing up. So I was just like, all right, I am at your disposal. I'm working on other homebrews now. And immediately I'm like, all right, he needs a screwdriver. Do you have a screwdriver? Give me that. We're all working together, community. Whether you like it or not. And they all like it, obviously, but it wasn't a tough sell.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Brian asked, are the ramps 3D printed or vacuum formed? If you want to talk a little bit about that.
The ramps are 3D printed. A lot of things in this game are 3D printed because I have a 3D printer and I have a 3D printing experience. So if you have a hammer, everything is a nail. Do what you know as long as it works. So I don't have a vacuum former, even though I'd love to try one, but I do have a 3D printer, and these 3D printed PET-G ramps hold up really well. I actually only replaced the left ramp recently, and it was not because it broke. It was just I needed to redesign it. So we have a freshly redesigned left ramp.
Nice.
What does and doesn't hold up to 3D printing?
Great question.
So that is a great question. The ramps hold up great. I mean, you need to protect the edges like you do with normal plastic and metal ramps just fine. Is there anything that hasn't held up 3D printing wise? I probably wouldn't try 3D printing a drop target, although you could probably do it if you did it in the right orientation. But most, if not all, of my 3D printed parts have held up really well. My ramps were originally held together with entirely 3D printed clips because I didn't have a welding rig yet. Those worked, but they would break occasionally, so I would just need to print a few extras and replace them. There are still 3 of them on the game, I believe, like right up here at the top of the right ramp and the very back, because they're holding my switches. I haven't gotten around to making a nice metal switch mount, but I would say like the ramp clips, while they do work, they do have a higher failure rate, so you're going to have just a few extra on hand. But for the most part, 3D printing is great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And talk a little bit about that metal ramp too, because your loop ramp is like, I think it blew everybody's mind in the pinball community to see did. that loop being created. And there was people being like, oh, we can't do a loop like that, and then you're like, watch me.
So the loop, would you believe that was my first try right there? The loop The loop is the first try.
And it was
worked
easy
first
for
try.
him.
So I actually streamed this, and it's somebody highlighted it or somebody clipped it, and so I know it exists on the internet somewhere. I don't have a link for it, or I'd give it to you. But there is a highlight of my tech stream from the night that I was inventing the ramp or inventing the loop, and I made it out of cardboard.
Let's go back to
a lot of blue painter's tape, and one strip of metal, the strip of metal that's currently the floor for it right now. And when I first tested it out, when that kicker went off and it went around the loop, I literally screamed like a little girl because it scared me. It was not because it wasn't that I was like, oh my God, it works. I was like, ah, like it just scared me because I thought it was not working, and then it just suddenly kicked. And it's a very, very powerful coil, and I was holding it up with my fingers, and I just screamed, and everyone laughed at me, and it was great, but it worked. Aww. I was like, okay, it went around, right? And we watched the little replay and did it again a few times. Like, all right, if I can make it work with cardboard and blue painter's tape, then I know this will work. So then I made the rails, and eventually those were actually 3D printed clips too. We had the base floor, and then the rails were held on with clips, and those broke a lot. So that actually is probably what didn't hold up. So just the high impact and flexing of going around that loop, those didn't hold up eventually.
Yeah, it's crazy. So now this metal ramp, do you have to do lots of welding and stuff? Like, how did you?
I got a spot welder, $60 spot welder from Harbor Freight is all I need to do all the welding I've done for this game. All these wire forms, everything. All of these welds were just a cheap spot welder. It took me about an hour to learn. Actually, I'd say like 3 hours to learn how to do it well using YouTube tutorials. I took some of this. So here's something I would do again if I had to do it over again. Somebody convinced me to use stainless steel for these the ramp wire. Don't do that. Yes, it has a great finish, and yes, it won't rust out. But stainless steel is very difficult to weld. And I would have, if I could do it again, I would do it in mild steel, and I would call my powder coating guy and just to make it look nice. But
is that going to be in version 3? Or
now it's done. It's done. So it's done. It was like the work was a pain, but it's like now that it's done, it's fine. So I took some of these rails that I bought. I think they're 1/8 inch stainless steel rods from McMaster-Carr. I think they came in 6 foot lengths, which is why I was able to do these bendy loops at the end and then have it go most of the way back. And I took a couple of the cuttings from that, and I would just weld them together, and then I threw them against my basement concrete wall. And if they didn't break, then I had succeeded in welding.
Wow.
And I did that for a couple of hours until I could throw it as hard as I could at the wall and it wouldn't break. And I was like, all right, now I'm ready to start trying like real things. So that's the welding stuff.
Nuts. Awesome. In the chat, Mutterfutter was asking, what other games have you played on your last lap of shows that you really enjoyed?
Oh God, I haven't been able to play a single homebrew that I didn't like at any of the shows I've been to in the last year and a half. Like, as long as it was working and I got to play it, I had a blast. Let me see if I can name a few of them outright. Obviously, Metroid was the original inspirations for this entire game. Our playfields are cut from the exact same tree. Mark actually cut this. Yep. Mark CNC cut this playfield for me, and I clear coated Metroid for him. So we worked very closely together when we were making our games. Let's see what else. Boys Night Out was awesome. I love Boys Night Out. I cannot believe game. Boys Night Out did not win the DGenie Award. Are you kidding me? Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Wait, who won the DGenie Award?
I don't remember, actually. All I know is that it wasn't Boys Night Out, and I was surprised.
It should have totally.
Was it Benzik?
Oh, Motor City Taxi one? Maybe?
It might have been. Or maybe he got honorable mention. I'm not sure. But it wasn't. So let's go down the list. There's another one. Motor City Taxi is excellent, has some great ideas. Greek Gods.
Greek Gods is cool.
Huge hit. Yeah. I wish I had a picture of it, because unfortunately the owner or designer of Greek Gods wasn't there when we did it. But there was a moment where, actually, Moto, you were there. We were all clustered around this thing, like 13 people, and then Jack's towering above all of us, and like getting his. It was me and Jack playing, but like we all were just like, our minds were blown by Greek gods, and we're all trying to figure out the rules and how to get down to the lower playfield thing. And I had a crazy good ball on it, and everyone was watching. And yes, the knee button.
Oh,
I'm not going to rip that off because I respect it too much, but it's a great idea. So Greek gods was incredible. What was it? Castlevania. I never even got to meet the person who made the Castlevania homebrew that was at Expo, but that game shot better than a lot of professional games. Like, it might not have been more completed than some of the others, but the shots were, the geometry was solid, and I played that for a long time. I got lucky and nobody was behind me, so I got to play it for like an hour.
Nice.
What else? Haunted Mansion from Pintastic is a homebrew Pinball 2000 game, complete with full 3D graphics. If you haven't gotten a chance to play that yet.
Maybe we do need to get up to Pintastic, Crystal.
No kidding.
Some homebrew stuff. I know. It's not in our budget. It's not in our budget yet, but one day.
We'll have a POG tournament.
I know.
Ryan, have you seen?
We're having a POG tournament. We'll be there.
Oh, we'll be there. Pogs. Nope, forget about it. Ryan, have you seen the Elf homebrew?
I saw pictures, but I've never been in the same room as it.
Yeah, it was at TPF. It was like right across from our booth.
Crisp. It looks clean and finished. So that's a fully original game, or is that a retheme? I have no idea.
I think it's fully original. It seemed fully original.
If that is a fully original game, that is a beautiful fully original game.
Yeah, it played like a version 2 homebrew, I think.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. I really want to play that, so I hope I get to be in the same room as it. There were so many good homebrews at that show.
It's growing. It's awesome. And there's the Legend of Zelda that Wilder Ham has made. He usually brings that to Southern Fried. You have to come down to the south.
I want to play that Legend of Zelda so bad.
Yeah,
it's so good. It has the little hearts meter and everything.
Yep, it looks
and the gold
beautiful.
Plates.
If you guys could get those 3 all lined up together, Sonic, Metroid, and
Sonic, Metroid,
Zelda, it would just be like
that would be amazing.
Yeah, Spaceballs is another one that comes to Southern Fried a lot, and
I haven't gotten to play
amazing
Spaceballs
John
either.
Marsh's game. Yeah,
John Marsh is a huge asset to the pinball homebrew community. He's the one who he's done so much for all of us. I'm almost all right. I just don't want to be wrong about this. I'm pretty sure that John Marsh is the one who programmed the light show creator that we all use. So all these light shows you're seeing right now were made in the program that John Marsh made for us.
How do we get that program? Because I've been like just mesmerized by your light show this whole stream.
Good question. I think I got it directly off of a Slack link. I have to go find it. It might be on the Mission Pinball website.
Is it hard to program?
It's actually pretty intuitive.
That's so complex, and it's just hard. I just want to make light shows on pinball machines. It's
hard to come up with good ideas for light shows and pinball machines, but for example, this one right here, it's just a chase light. So this program allows me to load a map of all of my lights onto a grid. So it knows the location of every single light in the game because I've told it where it is physically. So you just upload, you have your playfield image, like you take a picture of your playfield and you put it in this program, and then you just drag the lights on top of where they belong. And then you can run shapes over those lights, and it will generate the light show that will match that shape that you've put in. So this is just a rotating portion of a pie, and it knows where all my lights are. So all I do is tell it what color, how fast, how big, and how long to be, and hit run, and it does all the math and figures out when each light should turn purple, etc. This one right here, I was going for a twinkling effect, which isn't really something that's easily achievable. So I just ran a bunch of star things that I made in MS Paint over it, and it made it look random.
Did you say you used MS Paint?
I actually use paint.net, which is very similar to MS Paint, but without all the garbage and with a lot of extra tools. All of the graphics for this entire game were done in the free open source paint.net. So highly recommend that. I don't know how to use Photoshop. It's a large learning curve.
I have been, yes.
You don't have to take notes. You can just call me anytime you want. I'll talk to anyone who's. If at any point someone is really considering building their own homebrew, I will go out of my way to make time to talk to you personally, one-on-one. People message me on Facebook all the time, and they just say, "Hey, I'm working on this game. Like, I would love to talk to you." And I immediately, I'm like, "Yep, let's talk. We're doing it right now." I'm not talking. The most recent one, I'll forget his name, but I'm going to tell it to you right now because I was that recently that he messaged me. But the new creator of League of Legends Pinball.
No way.
That would be
League of Legends Pinball.
Ernie Silverberg. Ernie Silverberg messaged me. He posted on the he posted on Strictly Custom Pinball Machines that he just started physically building.
I gotta go back on
his whitewood, and I made some comment on it, and he reached out to me, and so we've been chatting ever since. So. Awesome. If anyone is seriously considering building a homebrew or already building a homebrew and you're stuck and you're like, hey, look, this guy got this far, so like maybe he knows the answer, like just reach out. Message me on Facebook personally or anywhere you can find me, and I will answer. I'd love to talk to you, or just corner me at a show. Be like, hey, I have a homebrew that I'm building that I want to talk to you about, and I will make time for you.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I get the idea that most of the homebrew community is like that, because it's the same with Mark. Yeah. I remember when I went to Expo and I was like, I want to do this, and you both were like, do it.
I am a really cool moment.
Trying to pay it back, honestly. I'm trying to pay back all the help that I got from the community when I first started.
Yep.
Yeah, so, that's a
and
great
then
question,
some if
Crafty.
I can. So
yeah, so if I were to start, how do I have a theme in my head. No one's ever going to make this theme, but I want to see it happen. Like, how do I start?
Yep,
Where do I start?
Gamma Goat's pretty close. That was actually, I think, so.
Doing.
We did a seminar at Expo, which unfortunately I don't think got recorded. If you know of anyone who would have the recording from the seminars at Expo, let me know.
I thought they live streamed them all.
I don't know. I can't find the recording of our wonderful seminar of how to build a homebrew machine in 4,000 some amount of steps.
I know who to text for that.
And so the absolute best place to start, I'm going to use some like seminar / like marketing spit at you right now. The best place to start is to decide to do it. Like 100% sure you're going to do it. Not, I might do it. I might like poke at it once in a while, be like, I'm doing this. That's the most important step. It's step 2. Step 1 is, have the idea, obviously. But the most important thing to do is to decide you're going to do it. And then afterwards, if you're saying, I've already made that step, like I've already decided I'm going to do it, now what? I personally like to point people at the open source and free program Visual Pinball 10. Visual Pinball 10 is a video game, and people use it to do a lot of virtual pinball stuff. There's a lot of recreations, and a lot of your virtual pinball cabinets will be running mostly visual pinball tables. But it is lesser known for being a full pinball editor. You can design your game, your entire game in visual pinball before you even start drilling into a piece of wood. And I did that. And there's actually photos of that in my build thread on Pinside. Nice. Where you can see what it looks like and how like bare bones and like little it is. It looks like someone just picked up a video game and like started messing around, because that's exactly what happened. But it's free and it doesn't cost you any money, so you can start anytime. There's no reason you can't start. You can go download it right now. It runs on it as long as your computer functions at all. It'll run. It's not hard to run. And the physics have been being tweaked by pinball nerds for like 20 years. So it's a really good indicator. It's a video game, it's a simulator, it's not perfect, but it is very, very accurate up to and including like it considers ball spin and on rebounds and everything. So there are some things that once I built this game, I did not think we're going to transfer from the visual pinball to real life. And I was surprised to find out that it was 100% true. So for example, when I come down this shot and I use my upper flipper to shoot into these sonic targets, all the angles tell me that it's going to bounce down here somewhere. But in the visual pinball, the ball spin from the flipper would have it bounce up and come back to the flipper a lot.
Whoa.
And I was like, that won't happen in real life. I would love it if it did, but it won't. It does all the time. Almost every shot onto those sonic targets from the upper flipper goes back to the upper flipper, so you can take like 4 shots at it. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. I just didn't think it would happen. So like even things that detailed as ricochet with ball spin considered, the physics are that good. So get started by figuring out what you're going to do and where it's going to go in that free program. And then you can move over once you have something you think is fun.
Hello, Daniel.
With no rules, no music, no theme, no nothing. If it's fun for you to just flip on your geometry in this crappy little video game, then it's going to be fun in real life. Once you add everything that's amazing to it, once you add your theme, once you add your music, once you add your art, it's going to be just better. So that's my advice for steps 1 through 5 or something like that.
APB.
Now,
it'll also tell you if something won't fit. If you're like, oh, I'm going to put 4 drop targets under my flipper, no, that won't fit. And visual pinball will show you real quick that it won't fit.
Now, I was going to ask Ryan, a couple of homebrewers have started just by diving into their whitewood and just like putting foam core here and there and the other place.
Totally valid option.
Okay. All right. So there's not necessarily a one is better than the other. It's just a matter of, oh, this is going to work better for me. I
think planning it out that way was the better option, because I think it let me skip an entire whitewood worth of like fumbling around. But that's might not be your style. Honestly, you might just want to have a piece of wood and start drilling. You can totally do that.
Yep.
But if you're asking from an efficiency and where's the easiest place to start, I always point people to the thing that's free.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, and this is also the path that Sonic Spinball took, was because there's a plug-in bridge that exists between Visual Pinball and Mission Pinball framework. So if you're considering using the Mission Pinball framework for your code as opposed to Skeleton Game or some of the other options out there, you don't need to build before you can start coding. So I was able to like have Sonic with graphics, with music, with everything, real code that was later moved to the physical game on the fake game, on the simulator, and it worked. And so I had a 4-ball multi-ball and 2 modes and all this other stuff before this game ever even flipped. This game never flipped as a bare whitewood. It had rules and code and music and everything from the start, because I started doing both at the same time. Whenever I couldn't be building stuff, I was coding stuff. And whenever if I ran out of parts, I would code some stuff. And then I got to marry the 2 projects together one day, and it was a magical day. All of a sudden I had a pinball machine, not a flipping piece of wood. So
now Visual Pinball only works on Macs, PCs, is that correct?
I do not know. I would be surprised if you couldn't get it running on a Mac, because it's been out for so long and it's open source. Surely some enterprising Mac user got mad at that at some point. But I don't know. I can't answer that question, unfortunately. So I have to go to the website to check it out.
But I feel like I've installed Visual Pinball, and there is definitely a learning curve to that program.
There is.
Do you have any advice on how to kind of get past that intimidating, just open sourcey type of screen where you're just like, okay, I got it open, now what?
I actually designed an entirely different game just to teach myself how to learn it, how to use the program. And actually later on, I liked what I did, so I uploaded it. If you're curious, you can go to the Visual Pinball forum and download Cosmic Lady by McSquid. That game I literally designed just to teach myself how to use the editor so I could build Sonic later on. And I believe it's going to be on the dumpster fire at Midwestern Gaming Classic. So if you want to check that out, go for it. Also, yes, Jack Danger made some great tutorials on YouTube for Visual Pinball. Jack Danger also starts his designs in Visual Pinball before he moves on to the more legit code, before some of the more legit methods of pointing things out. And my advice, if you're more of a jump in and I don't want to watch tutorials kind of person, pick one tool at a time and just mess around with it until you know how to use it, because there's not that many tools and they don't go in very in depth. So there's a target tool, and wherever you click, a target is going to show up. And then you just need to find the little drop down menu that changes it from a drop target to a stand up target. And then now you know how to put targets there. And then you just explore a few lines down. You see orientation. Okay, 45. Hey, now my target's at a 45-degree angle. Like, and now I basically know how to put targets anywhere I want. Like, and then you just move on to the next tool, which is a gate tool. If you just click somewhere, it'll drop down a two-way gate. And then if you look, you'll be like, oh, I can change the length, and I can tell it that I don't want it to be two ways. So now I know how to make one-way gates. Like, it's just mess around. Probably the most complicated tool in there are the walls and the ramps, but they work similar enough that once you figure out how to use them, they're not that bad. But you could probably learn it you can learn it enough to be useful and know what you're doing in a weekend.
Cool.
So, oh, cool! You dug up the Cosmic Lady.
Yeah,
right,
it's awesome. It looked like someone was like streaming it too on YouTube.
Oh, really? Somebody played it on YouTube. I think there's a couple of YouTubers out there that play literally every visual
Preggy
pinball.
Ivan.
So.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Oh,
also,
yeah,
hide layers, says Chris.
Layers
because you can bog down your computer.
Yeah, you can. Don't put everything on layer 1 like I usually do.
I know.
I've gotten better. Now I have a ramps layer. Now I have a lights layer. Like yeah.
Hey, that's just like in Photoshop. You could use Photoshop. It's all about
and it works in Paint.net with layers too. Like every program, lots of creative programs have layers. You'll understand the concept of them. Just don't forget about them. So, yeah. I mean, we can. Obviously, we're going to be talking this whole time, but I guess I could start playing while we talk too.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Sonic and your rules, since we're kind of getting to,
all right, sure.
Programming and stuff. How does this game work?
We'll give you the overview, and then I can sort of narrate as I go. The overview of the game is obviously you are Sonic the Hedgehog, and you are trying to collect all of the Chaos Emeralds and beat Dr. Robotnik. You collect Chaos Emeralds and get to Dr. Robotnik by completing different zones, which are different game worlds that all have their own rules. Each of them consists of 2 acts and a boss fight. Act 1 and Act 2 always have the same rules, except Act 2 is just a little bit more difficult. So, for example, the first zone, the Green Emerald, would be Green Hill Zone. The objective is to hit the orbits. So you need to hit the orbit shots in Act 1. And then, all right, I did that. I finished it. I hit the right ramp where the signpost is here to finish Act 1. And then I move on to Act 2. Act 2, I'm still trying to hit the orbits, but now instead of just hitting both orbits whenever I want, I have to alternate between the left and right. So I have to do the right orbit, then I have to do the left orbit, then I have to do the right orbit. So it's the same shots, same rules, it's just a little more difficult. So the combo mode is the yellow mode. You will have slightly fewer options in Act 2 for your combos instead of like everything available to you. So you'll start a combo and it's like instead of hitting 4 shots, you only have the option to hit 2 of them. So like it's just a little bit harder. Once you're able to complete the zones, which we'll get into how to do that in a second, you will then enter a Dr. Robotnik boss fight where the center door will come down, and it is very Attack from Mars saucer style battle. You hit him enough times and then you finish him off, he explodes, and you move on, you collect your Chaos Emerald. In order to beat a mode, you need to move Sonic from the left side of the screen to the right on the LCD. Every time you hit a mode shot, you will gain progress toward the end of the level. The faster Sonic is running when you hit that mode shot, the further across the screen he will run. So you have this wonderful speed bar right in the middle of your flippers and also on the screen. And if Sonic is going very slowly and that bar is empty, it's going to take you between 10 and 13 shots to beat a level. But if he's going full speed and that bar is full, you could beat that same level in 3 or 4 shots. And likewise, every single thing in the entire game is multiplied by that speed for your scoring. So your speed is your playfield multiplier. There are no other playfield multipliers in the entire game to worry about except speed, and that's all there is.
Wait, and you said you build speed by comboing shots?
No, you build speed just by hitting the spinners. All you have to do.
Oh, okay, the spinners
Every
in the
spinner,
orbits.
every
Gotcha.
spinner tick will increase your speed,
Wow.
and then there's your
All
speed
games should be
slowly
like that.
decreases over time. So it slowly decreases over time when you're not hitting the spinners. There are other ways to increase your speed here sprinkled into the game. There are some, for example, some of the loop awards will be plus speed. There is a always running spin dash combo that will give you speed if you can successfully complete it. You do the spin dash combo by using the upper flipper to hit it around the left orbit in laps, as many as you can do, and then you finish the combo by shooting the ramp. So it'll be like spin, 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 ramp, and then that'll complete.
What's the
spin dash.
highest loop combo you've seen?
I have achieved a 5 and finished it. Like that's the problem, is you have to finish the combo or it doesn't matter. So I have finished a 5. I have gotten a shot at an 8 and failed. I failed to finish it. So I got 8 around the lap orbit, and then I missed the ramp shot.
That's such epic time.
And I actually think that clip is it was either 6, 7, or 8. It was a large number and it was not expected. It was in the backhand pinball tutorial video, and I think he tacked it on at the end as a blooper.
Do you keep your Twitch archives from your stream anywhere? Does it go to YouTube or anything?
No, I don't archive them anymore. I downloaded a few of them and they were like 7 gigs each, and Twitch just like melted every time I tried to download one, so I stopped trying. I don't have a lot of those, but I have a lot of pictures, and I've saved a few of them. Here's a question. All right. Will this pin playfield ever be finished and on a whitewood? This one won't, but just like the rest of the game, it is slowly moving toward completion, and it has prototype art on it right now. So before, in fact, a lot of you probably own the T-shirts of the original centerpiece design, which was a nice little line art that is done in the style of all the rest of the art on the playfield. But now we have the fully finished, fully colored in centerpiece art. So that is now the final product. And as we finish those, then they're going to get added to the new things. But art takes a long time. Art is expensive. I am not an artist, so I can't do any of it. It all needs to be hired to outside people. And the artist for this project, Amber Cyprin, they are a very busy person with their own life. And so I'm not sure
drop
when the art
everything
will be done.
And get this playfield.
Actually, I did ask Amber to basically drop everything before Expo, a couple months before Expo, to finish the centerpiece alone, because I felt like just having that centerpiece done would have a big impact on the game, and I was
It's
right.
a beautiful.
And they did it. They dropped everything. They got it done for me quickly, and time to get it on the second playfield. But I yes, it will eventually be finished. This is not a design choice. This is just part of the process of making my own game.
So when you really say version 3, you mean like this entire whitewood you're just going to take out of your cabinet and have a completely new board, or are you going to disassemble these pieces? And I will
disassemble it all, and then we will move everything over to the new playfield, whatever new playfield it is. So I will
where do your old playfields go? Do you hang them on the wall?
Yeah, I just have one upstairs.
Can we buy it?
So it has not been done yet, but
is there already a list of potential buyers? Can I to that list?
Yes and no. So what we're gonna do, I haven't announced it yet. It hasn't happened yet. Nobody's missed it. I will announce it very heavily when I decide to do it, but I'm going to be holding an auction for my old playfields, and it's all gonna go to Project Pinball.
Oh.
We're gonna auction them off for charity.
That's
so
awesome.
I like the idea of auctioning it more than I want to do a raffle, because I think we could make more money for the collectability of it for charity. And again, it's not for me, so I don't feel bad about doing that. I'm not trying to squeeze people with my old playfields, but I feel like if we can raise a little bit of money for charity, then I would love to be a part of it. So the version 1 whitewood will be being auctioned off for Project Pinball. I'm not really sure when that's going to be, but this one will probably have the same thing happen to it whenever that happens. So that's what I'm going to do with my old playfields, because I don't need them. I feel the game in its most current and completed state is my baby. That is just an old part I don't need anymore. I feel no attachment to the old playfield, so I might as well sign it and try to get some money for some hospitals.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so let's go back to rules, right? So
Oh, right.
I was gonna ask about
okay.
rings.
Rings. All right. So
how
rings
do you
are
collect
all
them?
over the place on the playfield. If you have ever played Congo, rings function very similarly to diamonds.
Diamonds.
So every time you start a new level, all the rings are spawned on all the targets and every main shot has a ring, and all of the stand-up targets across the playfield, except for the Sonic targets over here, all have rings. You collect rings, and those will light your locks at the left ramp for your Mania Multiball, which is your standard 1, 2, 3 lock Multiball, as well as adding to your end of ball bonus for the entirety of the game. And then they will be useful for something that has not quite been finished and announced yet. So you're going to want to get as many rings as you can throughout the entire game for something that happens at the end.
Can you do you lose rings?
I was just about to ask if
you can lose rings.
Fall on spikes.
So currently there are 2 ways to lose your rings. One of them is to just drain. I think, do you lose your rings if you drain? I don't know.
You should.
I should find that out. I honestly don't remember. But there, in the fire zone specifically, you can get hurt by fire, and if you hit a red shot when you're not supposed to, you will get hurt. You will lose 2 rings and 40,000 points. So you can actually, if you try really hard, it is possible in Sonic Spinball to get a negative score.
Oh wow!
And I've done it before. I've done it before.
Be proud negative score.
It's very easy to cancel out the very small penalty for getting hit. I think if you make 1 mode shot, you can erase the negatives from 3 bad shots or something like that. But you still do lose points and you lose rings, and it that pushes off your lighting your locks. If
will you put a most negative low score on the board?
I've considered putting lowest score, but that seems I'm not going to do anything like that.
Score.
I'm not going to do anything like that during development, because I set a lot of nothing scores by killing the game 1,000 times. But once I've decided, all right, the code's pretty good and I'm not going to mess with it anymore, I am going to have a leaderboard for negative scores if anyone wants to, because it would be a fun game. It would honestly be a fun tournament, a fun tournament to try to get the lowest score possible. And have it so that any positive scores are disqualified. That would be great. And I've done that with some friends, and it was indeed really fun and really hard, because you need to not only go slow so you don't get any points to begin with, you need to avoid anything that makes any points, and you need to hit the things that get rid of your points on purpose. It's fun. It's definitely a fun dollar game if you're ever at one of the shows.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, it's highest negative score, not lowest score, because anything above 0 doesn't count. Because you actually have to play. You can't just drain as fast as you can. So it's work. You have to work hard and be really good to be that bad. So so I think I've gone over most of how the game works in far as generalities. We have ball savers on the out lanes and the center, which you light by finishing the Sonic targets. That will light one of your elemental shields on the right scoop. You can choose which shield you collect by waiting for the light to cycle to the color of the shield you want before you shoot it. So it's going to slowly move from red to yellow to blue to green. The 4 shields are the fire shield, which protects you from the left out lane, the water shield, which protects you from the right out lane, the bubble shield, which will protect you from 1 drain anywhere, and the lightning shield, which will protect you from the center drain. But not
need some of those.
But not as soon as you hit any out lane with the lightning shield, it's gone. So that includes multi-ball and everything. So what else is there for that?
Can you collect shields and use them later, or is it? No,
you get a shield, you have it, and you're using it right now, and you can only have 1 shield at a time. Any new shield you get will overwrite your old one. Okay. And it is not possible to use more than 1 or to stack shields or wait to use them. Once you get it, you get it. What else is going on? Once you get a shield, other than actually 2 of the shields never expire. So the fire shield and the water shield If you use them, doesn't matter, you still have them. You are always immune to that left out lane until that shield is gone for some reason. So you can, if you have the left out lane shield, you can lose 30 balls in the left out lane and it does not matter. They're all coming back.
I want that for the lightning shield.
That is not the case for the lightning shield. The lightning shield is currently capped at 3 saves, which is probably going to get nerfed to 2 saves. Aww. It's still pretty generous. But because any outlane immediately nukes the shield, even if you're in multiball, it's not as overpowered as it seems like it would be. All these shields also have secondary properties where that they are similar to the ones they are in the game. The fire shield will protect you from the fire shots in the fire zone we just talked about. Yeah. The water shield will protect you from drowning because you can drown in this game. The lightning shield will help you collect rings around the playfield. If you hit one target, you'll collect the rings that are next to it as well. And then the bubble shield is the only one that doesn't have any special properties, but it's because it's the weakest of the 4. It's just the way it is. But it also protects you from anything one time. So it's actually really useful sometimes. It's almost like an extra ball, except your ball just never stops. And it works for competition too.
Nice. How about multi-balls?
Multi-balls. We have the standard 1, 2, 3 locks on the left ramp. You light your locks by collecting rings. It is a virtual lock. There's no physical locks on this game right now. Then we have the Badnik Frenzy multi-ball, which you collect by destroying little robots and freeing Sonic's little animal friends. You will light a Badnik anytime you hit a ringed target that is not lit. And then you destroy a Badnik anytime you hit a ringed target that is not lit, if there is one on the screen. So every time you add one to the screen, a little guy will show up and like walk onto the screen, and then next time you hit a target that's not lit for a ring, he will explode and you'll get an animal instead. And once you get a certain amount of the animals freed, it will start the frenzy multi-ball just immediately. There's no activate. It's just, oh, there it is. There's a 10th animal. Boom, you're in. And then that's when you fight the mini boss up in the center using that multi-ball. So that's where all the jackpots are. Wow. Hi, Jillian, by the way.
Jillian, thanks for joining us.
What else we got? We have the loop multi-ball, which is at the end of the loop jackpot ladder. So the right scoop has a mystery award. There's a more traditional, light your mystery. You light it up in the pop bumpers and then get your mystery award. The loop award, you light by finishing the rollover lanes in the bottom, kind of like Lord of the Rings locks. And that will light an award at the loop that will get progressive, and it stays the same every time. It happens in order. So like the first one is light shield. The second one is like speed plus, and it's always in the same order. And it'll tell you what the next one is, and so you know where you are on the ladder. And the final one is the loop multi-ball, which is a 4-ball multi-ball with crazy high jackpots at the loop shot. It's really hard to get to, and it's one of the best things in the game. What else? There is a mini wizard mode multi-ball that will most certainly hopefully get to show bonus pipe. So that'll be the pipe bonus levels from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Nice. Where you need to collect rings around the playfield fast enough to stay alive, and every time you reach a checkpoint, another ball gets added to the playfield. Do we have any more multi-balls going on?
That's so many multi-balls.
We're not done. There's a quick multi-ball, which is called Switch multi-ball, which is kind of modeled after the multiplayer mode from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So it shows up as a random award, and it's a 2-ball multi-ball. Yeah, it's a tails. And so every time you alternate between the scoop and the loop shot, and every time you do, you switch places with the other player. So it was it's the switch places item box from Sonic 2, and it plays a stupid little animation, and it's cute. As far as current multi-balls, there's one more in the works that is not ready yet, but that's it, I think. Yeah, that's all of them.
Do you have a shot map for this?
Somewhere.
The layout.
I think Backhand Pinball did one for me, but I don't have one right now.
Those are so cool. It just helps. It's like the little cheat sheet, you could pass it out at the shows and be like, here, this is your progression on how to
That's
hit
a great idea.
Things.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have like a laminated one hanging off the game or something.
Yeah. And I'll take a picture of it and say.
They used to.
And I mean, people don't read the rule card. Why would they read that?
Well, it's so easy to it's so much easier to understand that way. Like those flow charts
Yeah,
are
you're
really
right.
cool.
The flowcharts are great. So the game is designed to be a 90s game. It's supposed to be a game that pretends to be really complicated, but really isn't. The gameplay loop is simple. It's hit-lit shots. The playfield multipliers / progress multipliers are simple. Hit the spinners. And that's it. I can tell you how to play this game in 2 sentences. Hit the spinners, fill the gauge, then hit whatever's lit. That's the whole game. And that will work, and that will progress you through the game. And everything else is, oh, we're in a bonus mode now. Okay, do whatever, sure, whatever. Like, you can't really screw it up. And
yeah,
really, the modes are that simple.
Really wants to buy this game from you, so
you cannot buy this game from me.
$1 million.
It is an unlicensed title. We have not licensed it from Sega,
ever.
So it cannot be.
No matter the price.
Cannot be sold. I guess it could be sold as a one-off. I'm not sure how the artwork rule would work there. If I'm not manufacturing it, I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but it would have to be a lot of money to buy this. Enough to build enough to build another version of it, and then some. So
yeah, there you go. There's your answer.
Everything is for sale, but not at a fair price.
Yeah, Jedi Go asked, do you think Sega would ever want to license this? And I want to add to that question and say, can you talk a little bit about how generous Sega was to give to, like, the whole licensing thing with you're allowed to use Sonic, like you have approval, because that's very rare for any.
Sega has an open policy for fan games, which their rules, they're not like laid out anywhere, but they've officially stated on several occasions, as long as you are not selling their IP, as long as you're not making money off it, you can make whatever fan games you want using any of their official assets that you want. Which is why almost all of the graphics in this entire game are all first-party original stuff instead of using like fan art and remixes and all that stuff. Although I did recently add a mixtape mode that uses a lot of popular YouTube remixes with full credit given, because they're amazing and I wanted to listen to them and show off their amazing work. But for the most, almost everything in the entire game is official first-party art from the games, and it is used under Sega's very generous fan game policy, which there are thousands of Sonic fan game video games. This is the only physical one. But there's even, I can name 3 Sonic fan game pinball games off the top of my head, but they're all video games, obviously. One of them just came out. I think it was Sonic Mania something. I don't actually remember the name they used for it, but I haven't gotten a chance to play it.
What platform is it on?
Visual Pinball, I think. No, Virtual Pinball. Something very similar. That I don't know how to use, but do know how to play. Everyone's actually, there was a lot of talk on the custom boards about it and everything. So like it's out there. People have been playing it. It's popular. I have not gotten a chance to play it yet, but I'm very excited to, because it looks very beautiful. Somebody knew what they were doing when they made that. Cool. And then there's another one called Sonic Pinball Panic, which was done in Unity. I forget the gentleman's name because I'm terrible at names. There's nothing personal. There is a tribute to his game in this game. I added him to the Sonic Spinball category because the actual game, Sonic Spinball, only has 4 levels, and we needed 7. So I needed to make up 3 more. And so it's like, all right, how about anytime Sonic's ever played pinball before? And so Sonic Pinball Panic is in there. So maybe we'll get to see that.
Nice.
That's a great overview of most of the rules. And then there'll be some, there's obviously some surprises like most games will throw at you. And then it's just, do this simple objective the game told you to do. If I play really well, or you guys ask really nicely, I can show you some never before seen stuff that turns out doesn't crash the game, as we tested out earlier. But it's spoilery. So I'm going to make sure everybody knows. I've been working on the wizard mode and it's playable. But if you want to find it at a show, earn the wizard mode yourself and not have it spoiled what the game does when you reach wizard mode, close your eyes, walk away, whatever. We'll tell you when to do that.
That's awesome. Ryan, let's see it. Yeah.
Ryan, I wanted to ask, did you have an idea for rules before you started laying out your playfield, or was it like
all kinds of stuff? It was mostly vague. but they were just little things here and there. It's, oh, like obviously the pop bumper has to be the bumper from the game. What I'm going to do with that, I don't know.
Sure.
Oh, I want to have a spin dash combo. What is that going to be? Well, you're going to have to hit something and then, you know, finish it somewhere. It's okay. Like, but then it would fit the game somewhere, so it made sense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you need to hit the signpost to finish the level. Like you got to finish everything, and it's all right. Now finish the level at the signpost. And then I built a signpost, so now I know where it is. Like there was a lot of ideas, but nothing was like concrete except for maybe the boss. It's like, obviously, I'm like, I want to copy paste the saucer from Attack from Mars because it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's
no, it is.
Like,
yeah.
It's just perfect. And it's been long enough that it's okay to copy it. So yeah, there were a couple of things that the rules were, I knew them ahead of time, but like there was also a lot of like, what fits, where does it go? And I moved a lot of things around too. So you don't have to have anything fully planned out. Right. Is it very expensive to get licensed? I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody about actual licensing. I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to be. So my goal for this game's licensing, because I do want to get it licensed, I want to work with an established pinball company to produce the game, and I would assume that those companies would have licensing departments that they would be able to handle all of this. So that is my goal. I've seen too many good projects fail because non-business people tried to go into business for themselves, and I'm not going to do that. So you will not ever see me trying to produce this on my own or starting a new company to produce it on my own.
Yeah.
Or even a startup. Like I would love to, as much as I would love to like meet up with some business savvy person and start a company with them. Like I would just much rather this game get made by someone already established. And because this is
let's
what
get 5,000 units of these out in the
let's
wild.
Get 5,000,
Come on.
5K.
I want to see this at every arcade I go to.
And I loved this process so much, making this game like from the very beginning, that I want this to be my full career. So really, like it would be great if Sonic were to get produced, but honestly, it's not the main goal anymore. This machine is a resume. This is like, hey, look what I can do on my own. Imagine what I could do for your company. I could make a lot of games, and we can make great games together. So
yes,
that's the real goal. Trying to get a job.
That's awesome.
That's the dream, right? But it's been done before. It's been done before.
Yeah, it is a very legitimate pathway. We've seen it. Yeah.
And it right now, as far as I know, it seems to be the only pathway to becoming a pinball designer. If you want to be a brand new pinball designer, how do you get that job without this? I don't.
Pretty much every new pinball designer has that track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because all the pinball designers that we've had for years are like the guys who've been doing it for 40 years or more. Right. Like Steve Ritchie,
dinosaurs.
Pat, yeah, they're all.
Dinosaurs.
Got me to agree to that without even thinking.
I mean, dinosaurs
are
cool.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are cool.
So there really haven't been.
They're legendary people.
A lot of new designers that have gone career over time. I mean,
started with Homebrew. Yeah.
So now, if you want to, you can't really just go drop your resume at a desk, I guess. Or I couldn't. I didn't think I could. So I just built this. And this is my resume, and then we'll see how that goes.
Put it on their desk.
That's
awesome. It's a great resume. And like, again, kudos to you how you integrated so much of like the Sonic lore and gameplay style into a physical pinball machine. Like that sign spinner target to end the game that you hit every time you accomplish, one of the levels in Sonic. And
well, that's a benefit you have.
It's amazing. Dude.
Yeah, that's a benefit you have when you're going to design it and you already know what it's going to be. So, I mean, sometimes that is the case, and that's when you get the games with like truly excellent theme integration. But like honestly, a lot of games are made as a good pinball game, and then we drop a rule set on them, which works for some themes. Like not a lot of bands have anything to do with pinball, so you just make a good functioning game and then drop the band on it.
Sure, yeah, it's just
but like Sonic specifically has a lot to do with pinball. There's been a few pinball games. He's literally a ball.
He is a pinball.
Like there are flippers in the game. Like there's a lot of stuff. So it's like, all right, I can use all that to like help me design a better game. And as long as you know that from the start, then it's a great experience. I have designed games with no theme just to see if I could do it. And I can do it, thankfully, because I was worried that it's like, oh, I won't know what to do if I don't have all these clues from the IP. But it's a different experience. So I like both. I would prefer if I had the option to design a game with a theme in mind, but it's also fun to just design things that are fun to watch a pinball do. Like, so both are valid. Both are valid for sure.
Nice. Awesome. Well, let's turn it on. We want to see it flip.
Yeah, I'm getting
antsy.
I want to flip. Let's go.
I know. He's
all right,
waiting.
so step 1 is game select. This allows me to change the music and the levels to match any Sonic game that I like or want to listen to. Like, so if you were a Sonic 2 fan when you were a kid, you can just pick Sonic 2 and everything will be Sonic 2 themed. So let me get a game in chat and I will pick it first. So Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Mania, Sonic 3D Blast,
oh my God.
Sonic CD, Sonic Spinball, and Sonic Generations and Sonic Game Gear. I believe.
Oh, the Game Gear one.
We have a few extra.
Sonic
games.
2 is the most classic.
Ristar is a game made by the same team that made. Oh, apparently we're playing Ristar. No, I can cancel that.
Yeah, what other games? Can I add a request to your long request list? I'm sure you get.
Sonic 2. We don't have Sonic 06. It's only classic games.
Can you make an Echo the Dolphin mode?
I will, and that'll make you instantly drown with no recourse. That'll be Echo the Dolphin, the pinball machine. So
I'll take it.
After I've picked my game, I can pick my zone. So I can pick from, normally I can pick from the 6 Chaos Emeralds around the edge, and then the last one is supposed to be locked behind the other 6, but it's currently unlocked for testing purposes.
Nice.
So I'm gonna, unless somebody really wants to see a final level, I will respect that for now. But
Casino.
All right, there it is. I've been told. Casino Night Zone. Here we go. So Casino Night Zone is the combo shots zone, which is the yellow emerald. My objective is to hit a solid yellow target, followed immediately by the then blinking target. So first, let's try to build up a little bit of speed, shall we?
Oh, right. Build your speed.
Build my speed up so you can see my speed bar increasing. And Sonic's starting to physically, his animation is changing on the screen to run faster. If you're going nowhere, he will be tapping his foot, looking at you like, come on, let's go. If you're running fast on the screen, he will be running at full speed. So there we go, there's a nice little combo. See, now he's running at full speed and he's halfway across the screen already. Ooh, look at him go. And a failed drop target. I don't usually fail drop catches. I fail everything else, just not drop catches. Auto launch, see how that works. There we go. The super skill shot, which the super skill shot is plunging full up and around and then hitting the left ramp on the first try. The skill shots are going to be completely redone. We currently have a T2 style plunge into one of the Sonic targets. And then the super skill shot, but we're going to add more and redo them and everything. Just it has not been high on my list. I am not. Oh my god! Yeah, this is a warm-up game, which is fine. I can just start the whole thing. So now the signpost is lit. I'm going to try to hit the right ramp to finish my act, which I have now completed. Apparently, we got a mystery award first. Ooh, speed, maxed for 30 seconds. That's a pretty good award. We have the classic, the music is now sped up. There it is, nice backhand. That was not a very good spin on that, but you can see how it worked, kind of. I don't really have a playfield cam that you can see the signpost, so maybe I'll fix that for next time. I'm gonna get a loop award if I can. The thing about loop awards is you cannot light more once it's already lit. So you want to try to keep getting them so you can keep lighting them. So you can advance up the ladder. Oh god.
Ooh, nice.
Survive that. All right, I have my second lock is lit, and somebody has just followed me.
Yay, RW9.
And I'm dead.
Oh,
so yeah, that was a practice game. We're just going to do that exact same setup again because I don't like having people request things and then having me fail horribly out of them.
He's a
So
people
we'll go
pleaser,
back to
yeah.
Casino Night Zone so you can get a little more Casino Night Zone in your life.
Emoto, we should definitely do a what's inside the box of this one.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd love
absolutely.
To. I would love to show you inside.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm really-
at MGC. We'll open
I'm really
it up.
interested to see the mech for the signpost.
Oh, that was fun.
Nice shape 'em up.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes, we'd love to do the. Yeah, I think we ended up renaming it Pinball X-Ray. Because remember,
Okay.
Mark wanted to use like the X-ray glasses as the logo.
right.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
cute.
That's a good idea.
Ode to Mark. Yeah, so we'll definitely do a Pinball X-ray at MGC with this game. If you're down for it, Ryan.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm very excited to be on the Marco channel, although I'm very sad that our normal resident technician is off.
I know. Kyle's out gallivanting in
Really wanted
Chicago
to
right now. So.
Hang out with Kyle because I really enjoy watching him work.
You'll see him at
but-
MGC too.
Oh, good. That's even better. I guess that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
Benzik.
here we go. Let's try to get that second
Benzik
block. Nope.
volunteered just now to help wheel your game up to our stage. Just kidding.
Appreciate that.
Love you,
Shout out to
Benzik.
Benzik. We were talking
I
about
just
you earlier,
volunteered
buddy.
him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were-
Yeah,
There
you
was a
should have
chat
gone
here.
to TPF. TPF was crazy though.
I could not get the time off for TPF. I wanted to. Again,
Next
if
year.
people want to
Yeah,
start,
it was a
if people want to
great
start
show.
paying for my plane tickets and everything, I'm happy to go to anything.
Absolutely.
I'll travel across the darn country if you want to fly me out there and put me in a hotel room. Not really talking to individual people so much as show owners right now. If you run a show and you want my game there, all it's going to cost you is a hotel room and a ticket.
For sure. And that's a great deal. Look at this game.
All right, so now
It's
I got.
history in the
we're-
making.
We're still working on the main mode, trying to get my speed up so like my shots are worth more. There's a spin dash combo. Trying to get my there. Now I got a shield, so I won't die quite as easily.
What color
So now
did you get the lightning shield?
I got
Where
the
is
bubbles, the water shield. So the right out lane now does not matter for me. Also,
Oh right, I see the insert lit.
No.
Ah!
Ooh.
Nice save.
So something that I'm dealing with at the moment is
yeah,
I have
definitely.
recently upgraded to the latest
MGC
version of the software, and I still have some new bugs from that. So I'm going to be writing down the occasional bug as I come across them in the game. And so I just found one where the light that is supposed to tell me that the boss is ready did not show.
Ah.
So boss ready light broken. I mean, they're
Yay,
usually
see?
very simple
We're helping
fixes.
him work on his game right now.
But
This
this
great.
is a typical stream for Sonic Spinball if we're playing. It's I used to call them bug hunts, but some days there's a crap load of bugs, and some days there's almost none. So, all right. So there's a multi-ball. We apparently hit our threshold for a number of animals, and so I really bugged it out now. This is great. Oh no, I'm just not done. I thought I was done with the level, but I'm not. So never mind. Maybe I'm wrong about that bug too.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was done, but I'm still in the middle of the screen, so I must not be. So right now the center mechanism has opened up for shots on the mini boss, and we also have infinite badniks all over the playfield to be collected. Badniks, I suppose you could liken them to TIE fighters, maybe? Honestly, I never really thought about that before. That was not intentional, but now that I'm thinking about it, they are very TIE fighter-esque.
Are you gonna add an action button?
I have an action button,
Oh,
if
really?
only for selecting things.
Aw.
Did you know you can mod an action button onto a System 7
No,
lockdown bar?
I was just kidding, but that's
You
awesome.
can. I did it because I was frustrated with selection, like when I
Yeah.
was doubling up. I think I just beat that note twice. I did. I beat that note twice. That's a bug. You're not supposed to be able to do that. All right. Well, now we're at the boss. So now my objective is to smash the middle. So, and I just totally hit you. Why didn't you hit? Now I missed. So I got nothing on that one.
This is
There we
great.
go.
Yeah, look at him bounce. That's awesome. You got the little. How
Oh yeah,
is
we have
he?
the.
How does he jiggle like that?
He jiggles because we have the attack from Mars saucer mechanism holding him in place. The bracket, I bought it from Chicago Gaming. I think it's Chicago Gaming.
Oh, he's gonna fall.
Apparently, I'm not beating a boss that time.
Your drop catches are impeccable, Ryan.
Not today. They're not. I've already gotten killed by a few. All right, somebody give me a new game.
Someone
Sonic
said
2.
earlier Sonic 6.
That doesn't exist. They're trolling. Well, it does exist, but they're trolling and they know it.
Who was that?
Can you do the TNA?
Oh, Max Power 60.
We can do that if that's what you want to see. We can play.
You're part of the Ginzu Force.
Not TNA. It's not TNA. It is legally distinct from TNA in every way. It is called
the Game Genie.
Fission Devastation.
That's right.
Not to be confused with TNA. All right, we're gonna play it once.
Yeah, this is awesome. So this is homage
Comprehensive Fission Devastation is a completely separate side game that has nothing to do with the original code. I am not running any of the Sonic game code right now. It is a completely self-contained thing, and we're playing a whole different game. So I have just completed my not a keypad, and now I need to hit my scoop for phase 2.
Oh, the game.
Unlike the main game, CFD has full voice acting.
That's awesome. After this too, I think if you can turn up the music again a little bit.
I can do that right now. That's easy.
Okay, cool. Because I had him turn it down way low, but now I'm like, give me more music.
How's that? Any better? Turn it up a couple clicks. More?
Maybe, yeah. I think the noise cancellation. Just blast it for a second, because we're not.
You tell me when to stop.
We're not really hearing it too much. And I think when you talk, we'll be able to hear it.
All right.
Oh wait, yeah. Here we go.
Is that good, or you want me to
that's great.
Down? All right,
no,
cool.
that's great.
That's fine.
Nice. There we go.
Now I can jam to it too.
Yeah. Scott Denisi.
Shout outs to Scott.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Let's lock a ball real quick. I already had
Best
one.
Music
Right. Ball 2 locks. What even was that feed?
So clever.
There we go.
Reactor started. It even has the reactor spin lighting.
Oh wait, I'm gonna cheese it. Cheese it. Yeah, auto plunger. Stay up there.
Yeah, Scott has played this mode and has officially sanctioned it and everything, right? Someone was asking in the chat.
Scott, actually, I have voice acting lines from Scott in this. This says Lion.
I think
Scott
I have
says Lion
photos
Man.
of him playing it from Expo
I
last
got
year.
that too.
I still have to post
So this started when Mark Simon created the game known as Bootleg Atomic Obliteration. And I loved that idea so much that I was like, I need to do it too. Every homebrew game should have a fake TNA mode in it. Because TNA was like one of the original homebrews that got produced. It's what we're all trying to be. So take an afternoon, take a break from really working on your game, and just do your best to code TNA on top of it. So no changes to the playfield were made to make this mode or anything. You just do the best with what you have already. So I have only one place that can work as a lock, so that's where it goes. I didn't
Where
make
is your
new
lock?
locks for this. My lock is behind the drop target in the boss mechanism. You can only lock one right now, but I recently added an opto across the back of the door, so I might actually be able to use that for a second lock and do the full Denisi lock experience with it. Yes, Benzik, I was literally talking to you.
He was making direct eye contact with you, Benzik.
That was at you
3 weeks.
specifically. At you specifically. It took me to get my basic TNA entire game done. Took a day, 1 day, and then I had a couple of extra days where I had finished everything I wanted for Sonic before Expo, and I put 2 more days into it just to polish it up a little bit. It does not have to be fancy. You don't need graphics. You don't need anything. Just do your very best to make a not TNA mode. But you do need to make a new name. It can't be TNA, it can't be Bootleg Atomic Obliteration, and it can't be Comprehensive Fission Devastation. You got to make up a new one. Has to be a 3-letter acronym. Figure it out. You guys are smart.
Don't take Absolute Reactor Ruiner because that's mine.
What is it? What's yours?
Absolute Reactor Ruiner.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Also, it's R.
Yeah.
All right, so let me see if I can
That's mine.
pull up this last reactor. Oh, I missed it. So I also asked a few of my friends to record for me, and they all sent me clips of them saying boom, and one plays at random every time I destroy a reactor. So if I can actually hit this darn target, right now I'm trying to ramp pass. There we go. That was actually an entire party at Scott's house saying boom. That's my favorite. That's my favorite boom in the game. That has all kinds of people. Fliptronic, freaking Scott, White. We were all in his basement. Where it's like everyone in the entire party screamed boom, and they did, and it was amazing.
All right, Joe. So where are you going next weekend again? This weekend?
This weekend we are going to the Double Bull Tap House in Peabody, Massachusetts, in the Liberty Tree Mall.
Wow.
It's its own standoff thing. It's not actually in the mall. It's just connected to it.
Nice.
So
yeah, y'all can play
I will be there all
here
weekend
in the flesh.
And yeah.
And then in 3 weeks we'll be at Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So come play this game and a bunch of other homebrews. It's gonna be good.
I hope so. Do we know how many?
Oh yeah, Bentic, you're here. You know how many. Last I heard there was 4, or I mean there's 5 or 6, including yours.
No, I am not in Chicago. I am in my house in New Hampshire.
I am at my house. Where is it?
I did not hit that target. I do not believe I got credit for that. I must have just grazed the plastic. All right, come on, hit that one. Give me this one.
So many
It's a good
messages.
backhand. No, I can't do that. There it is. There's Scott saying Lion Man.
Lion Man.
Lion Man. He sounds so like, I don't know, bored when he says it on this one. It's great. It's a good, like, just dry performance. I'm a big fan of it. Apparently my relight box doesn't program, but hitting the door is not open. So whatever.
Spooky DJ, yeah, we are gonna go to Allentown. I don't know if Ryan is going.
I am not going to Allentown. I have given you the list of shows I'm going to. There are no exceptions. I'm not secretly going to a show. Actually, that's not true. I
so
might.
Midwest Gaming Classic. You'll also find it at Pintastic in New England, and then Pinball Expo in Chicago in October.
Bumper Nugget, we did not set that up. They're just blanketing the earth with those ads, and I'm happy about it.
I know,
that was not intentional. If you drive to Allentown, get me a hotel and ship the game there. Maybe. I still need to get the time off. But I might go to Pinball at the zoo, but I will not be bringing my game. It will just
look,
be me.
Jillian's offering.
PTO issue. Get it.
So we just played some CFD. What's up next? I want to play Sonic and Knuckles. I've never been before, but I have some friends going, and I'm going to be in the area, so.
Pinball at the zoo. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what are we going to play next? Let's do. Yeah. When I first heard where that show was, I'm like, that is not a real place. That is.
Yeah. Well,
that is
it's
somewhere
very
that Garfield would mail Nermal to.
I was like, oh, cool. They bring pinball machines to the zoo like everyone else thought. And it's like, nope, it's Kalamazoo, the city.
Oh.
It's like pinball at the lake. Where
so
you're
wait,
like,
oh,
pinball at the lake.
Zoo?
They're going to put pinball machines at...
Wait. Hold up. Back up. It's not actually
it's
at a
not
zoo?
at
The
a
zoo
zoo.
is just Kalamazoo? That's it?
Kalamazoo.
It's not a zoo in Kalamazoo? I thought it was both. Oh, I don't even want to go anymore.
I know. I'm sorry for ruining Christmas
to go to
for
the
you,
zoo
but that
and
was
then also
my reaction when I first got into pinball and heard about pinball at the zoo. But for the record, I hear it's a very amazing event and definitely worth traveling to. Although you won't be hanging out with animals and gorillas while you play
figured that it was a
pinball.
convention center that like happened to have a zoo next door, and I was like,
I know.
goddamn bet I'm gonna go to the zoo.
I know. A locket.
What
You
disappointment.
can like play pinball with giraffes.
Bring your own modifier. You can
Bring your own
animals.
animals. Yeah, bring like a ferret.
All right, let me see if I can lose some rings
It's
for
at
you.
the Expo Center in Kalamazoo. See. I know.
So in the red zone, we have the red shots, which are slowly the light show goes backwards in
Oh,
order
that's
to
how
tell
it
you
works.
that that's not what you're supposed to shoot. Also, you got a very loud noise.
Avoid
It's
red.
Here
The
you
whole
go.
playfield looks red right now.
So that's part of the ambience we got going
Yeah,
on.
no, it's great. It's very
half
scary.
Of the GI, half of the GI changes to match the zones, and the
That's
other half
awesome.
stays warm. The other half stays warm white to make it so you can see what you're doing.
Nice.
Whoa. Right. So if I can
It's
get
called
a
Popeye.
shield lit, here we go. Now
Well,
we
that
got a
better
shield
be at
that's lit.
pinball.
So I'm going to try to that here, that was an incredible catch.
Hey,
I'm
what's
very
up,
happy with that.
Twist?
So now I'm going to try to get a shield on the right, and I want to wait until that light is red,
Yeah.
and I want to get the red shield. So because I'm in the lava zone. So here we go. I think it's after green. So there we go. Now I have a fire shield. So now I have a fire shield, and I'm in the fire zone. Red is now good. If I hit a red shot, it is a mode shot. So let me hit one,
Nice.
and there.
Ah!
I died. But I did not lose my rings. In fact, I gained points in progress because I had the fire shield, so I was immune to the fire damage. You can run on the lava. It basically makes that whole mode free if you can keep it,
Wow.
which I just did not keep. All right, the white ones are lining up where they need to for me. So
I like that you have a time counter too, like in the game. I didn't notice that at first. That's
that was coming back. I'm sorry, what? Time counter? Oh yeah, the time counter for the levels. That is intent. We're going to eventually have speedrun champions. I have not coded it yet because I've had other stuff to do.
Oh, Carrie Hardy's hyping you up to American.
Oh, Carrie, how you doing? I've seen Carrie since Expo, and I missed it. It's beautiful. Oh my God, I did it! I did the thing I didn't even tell you existed. Crap. I didn't think I would actually pull it off. So if you manage to get a spin combo of 4 or more and finish the combo, Sonic will break all barriers and go faster than the speed gauge maxes out at. So my playfield multiplier is right now completely off the charts. Look at the screen. His speed gauge is broken entirely and is just blowing up. And basically, your multiplier and your speed are capped by the end of the bar, and that mode will if you pull that off, nobody knows what Sonic's true top speed is, and no speed bar can contain him. So if you manage to pull that off, I think the speed bar ends up capping at like, I want to say 3x playfield or something like that. I think the difference between nothing and the full bar is like 3. Speed breakthrough is like 6. And it lasts for 30 seconds, and you can do it anytime if you can manage to go 1, 2, 3, 4 ramp. Actually, it's 1, 2, it's 5 actually, because the first one lights the combo to begin with. So, like if I do this, now I have spin lit. If I hit another one, I get a spin. So I need 4 spins. 4 spins and then a ramp to get that. And I usually can't do that even if I'm trying. It's really hard to do that.
3?
So that's just 1. The game will say like spin. Yeah, so your first lap around there. Where are the white ones? Uh-oh. Do I have a lighting bug? I have a lighting bug.
Nah.
Like I said, I have some lighting bugs with the new version of Mr. Pinball. All right, yeah. So
Carrie,
some
I
of
think
these,
he's going to watch the movie tomorrow.
I am going to see. I'm going to go see it on opening night. Yeah, so it's tomorrow. I mean, I know it opened in
And
a
he's
couple
gonna
other
dress
places
up
early.
like Dr. Robotnik again.
I am not.
That
I
was
do
the
have
coolest
a
outfit
special
ever.
T-shirt though. I bought a Sonic and Knuckles original logo T-shirt.
Hello, Patrick. Thanks for joining us. Late
Yeah, this is
in
unfortunate.
France.
I don't know what the heck to shoot at.
We appreciate you joining our stream. This is Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. One of the greatest homebrews ever created.
A bugged out Sonic Spinball, and I'm glad I'm dead.
It's okay. This is all part of the process.
I just missed that. That just means I missed.
It is super beautiful.
I missed the second act of the fire zone. All right, so fix fire
Crystal, is your
zone
brain ticking for your homebrew design? Are you thinking of your steps?
All right. So I guess I do want to show this off for all the people that were like kind enough to show up to watch us do this. So I'm gonna make the announcement right now. If you do not want the wizard mode for this game spoiled for you, stop watching for about 15 minutes. Okay, come back. But I am going to show off what we have for the wizard mode as far as I can get into it. It's hard, so I'm probably not going to win, but I can at least show you the first phase. If I beat the first phase by some miracle, I'll show you the second phase, which is not done. But I'm going to show it off. So if you don't want the game spoiled, stop watching for 15 minutes. But this is what I've been working on lately. We have the Game Genie, which has been added to Game Select, and this will warp us straight to the wizard mode. So I'm going to stop talking while the cutscene plays because I worked really hard on this. So you watch it. Watch this cutscene because I worked really hard on it.
Wow. Beautiful.
Oh, look at him coming. All right.
So we got all the Chaos Emeralds. Metal Sonic showed up out of nowhere and took them all. So now we have to chase him down and defeat him. In order to fight Metal Sonic, I have to build up my speed so that Sonic physically catches up with him on the screen, and now I can hit his flashing shots to bring his shield down. Now that I've finished all of those shots to bring his shield down, I can hit him at the center. Yeah, that was actually really good. Once I've hit him, he gets his shield back, and I have to catch up to him again. If I'm still going fast, it's not going to take as long to catch up to him because I already have the speed. But if I slow down, if I don't keep my speed up, he can outpace me, and those shots will be light. So let me see if I can get a cheeky. Yep, there it is. Just pull the clipper up and get the end sometimes. Nice. So he's already ready to be hit again. This is going really well. The game might really want me to show off the whole thing. So let's get a shield. Always get a shield.
Go for the shield. All right.
Gotta stay alive. Staying alive is a big deal.
Which shield did you just get?
The lightning shield. So I'm saved from that center drain right there.
That's a good one.
There we go. I caught up to him again. I have that target on the right and the right orbit shot. So any of the stand-up targets can be included in his shield, not just the main mode shots. Now I'm trying to ramp pass down to the bottom, and I'm failing. Just want to save 5. Okay. Ramp pass. Give me a ramp pass, please. Oh, what was that? It hit the target on the way down, but I died.
Again. Oh my god.
All right, good. Apparently getting another ball did not bug out. So I lost all my speed, and so the center is no longer lit, so I have to catch up to him again. So now I'm going to try to just hit those spinners, try to build my speed up. Apparently I'll light a shield again and die, but that's fine. Because the initial ball saver was still there. There's a quick spin dash that'll get me up to him. If I can please get that shield so I don't die. There we go. That blue shield. Fine. Water shield's fine. Any shield, really. All right, now he's open. I didn't wait long enough, but I hit him anyway. Okay. That was a slap.
Nice.
All right, now we got to keep the speed up. So every time I hit him, there's a different video clip of the fight because that video was available, so I used it all. And you can actually kind of tell where you're at in the fight if you know all the video clips. You'll know how many hits he has left. There are other ways we're going to show the HP, but that's what there is right now. Oh wait, blue shield, don't care. Oh my god, I hit the hardest target in the whole thing in the first try. The S in the Sonic targets is the hardest one to hit.
Yeah.
Going really well. I might actually.
How many more hits to?
I want to say he's like a little more than halfway done, but he gets more shield targets every time I hit him. So it gets a little harder every time.
Yeah.
But I'm nailing him, so who cares?
Yeah. This is great. Wow. All right, there you go.
No, I have that shield. It's fine. Okay.
Get him.
Love having a moto cheering me on.
No, this is so exciting.
Oh, look at this. Look.
Uh-oh.
Dirty pool. Ah,
Knuckles.
yeah.
There it is. We have the dirty pool, and you have Gomez Adams, rather. Sorry for the dyslexia. Telling me that he likes the dirty pool. So there's
you did opto sensors for that, right?
There's a brand new opto sensor behind there, and we have a little animation of Knuckles poking out from behind the door, and we have Gomez Adams with his wonderful iconic call out from Adam's Family for the dirty pool. Everybody really wanted a dirty pool in this game. They not because of stuck ball reasons, just because they wanted to feel special that they did something they weren't supposed to. Mm-hmm. There we go. Nice shot.
All right, take him out. Straight up the middle. Yeah.
Oh, I already have one. I don't need it. Okay. I thought I died.
Yeah, you got the blue shield.
Speed. Go fast. So now I'm like going around the same speed as him, so I'm not making any progress or falling back, but I'll slowly start falling back if I don't get.
Oh no!
No. All right, I got one ball left, but it's still possible. I might pull it off. I really want to pull it off for you guys.
Yes, please. Great.
Okay. Catch up to Metal. I think he has like 2 or 3 HP left, so let's see if I can get this done. I will try one more time. If I fail, I probably will fail. Because he only gets harder. But I, as a Sonic fan, have a lot of respect for Metal Sonic. He is one of the most impressive designs for me. I think he's scary.
He's so freaky.
The only one who could ever truly that was kind of Sonic's whole thing in the 90s was nobody can catch up to him. He's so fast that don't even try. But Metal Sonic is basically him. So who can beat Sonic? Sonic can beat Sonic, so Metal Sonic is the right answer.
You'd think that Metal Sonic would go slower because he's made of metal.
He does go slower, but not by much. He's the only one who can kind of keep up. That's why you can catch up to him. He does go slower, but not by much. That's the way it is.
Ooh.
Everything's fine. Everything's not
deep breaths, deep breaths.
That was all not good.
I wanted
to. I will try again to beat Metal. Awesome. So hard. I need to make it easier.
From France. Are there any French homebrew games?
I think so. Where? No, they're not. I don't think they're in France. I was going to say the haunted. Not Haunted Mansion.
Oh, right, that one haunted. Oh my gosh.
I don't think they're in France though.
No, they're not. I think they were Germany.
Yeah,
no,
we just
the Netherlands.
We just had a bunch of French.
Gosh, I just look at my old cookies. Pinball Amigos.
Had a whole bunch of French pinball people come to.
I think
TPF, didn't they?
What?
Hey, I'm doing everything.
Yeah, that was RB Flip Crew was representing at Texas Pinball Festival. Yeah. That's where I got my sweet hat. Man, yeah, what was that game? I was I'm just gonna go back to my Twippy footage.
I'm gonna be aggressive. We're gonna beat him.
Yes.
I thought the Haunted Mansion was Belgium or Netherlands.
Yeah.
You're probably right about Belgium.
I think, yeah. There's a lot of pinball going on in Belgium, which I
they just got a museum.
It's amazing.
Oh, come on! I might start over. Just keep trying.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, these games are all amazing.
I want to beat him, but
right,
I've never beaten him before. But I haven't tried because he's new.
The despicable.
So he might need to be made easier, honestly, especially if I expect people to beat him in 1 ball or less, because you have to beat a whole game to get here. But I haven't even been able to beat him in 3 balls yet, so. Now we're gonna start hitting the crap out of this game to make it work. Just let me know if I'm not in frame anymore. Keep that spinner going in. Doesn't really matter. Just the ball. I missed the shot though. Uh-oh. Too hard to hit. Okay, fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's fine. Oh, it's gonna outpace me because I'm not doing anything. Oh, nice. Okay, I made it. So now he's starting to go
Okay,
faster than me.
shoot.
Let's see if I can sneak in there and hit him before. No, it doesn't matter. You're close. Okay, now I gotta go. Now I gotta get my speed up again. This is
Go faster,
This really
Sonic.
feels like a fight. This really feels like a fight.
Go faster, Sonic. There he is. Speaking of speed, speaking of speed. Ooh, he's going super fast. All right, you got this.
Fire shield, I'll take it. The shields are not animated onto this yet. They're going to be. That's just not done.
Okay, cool. You like literally took the question right out of my mouth.
Yeah, they're normally on the display, but Metal is that new. I finished him this week, so he's
That's
not
awesome.
bug tested.
Yeah,
he's
thanks
not
for
bug
showing us this.
tested.
No,
He's
this
not.
is great.
Most of the week, honestly, was spent on the background. Parallax scrolling is very difficult.
I can't.
And that is when you have multiple layers of 2D things that you're moving at different speeds in order to create the illusion of depth.
Yeah.
Can I please just hit that stand up target? Please.
All right, here we go.
There it is. Thank you.
All right. Opened up.
Sneak in there. Yes. Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
I still need to speed go. There we go.
Catch up, Sonic. You can do it.
I want Emoto rooting for me in all of the golf tournaments. It's like actively in my ear.
Yeah, just get a little Bluetooth thing, and anytime you're at a tournament, I'll be in there being like, all right, you got this.
And they'll be like, no coaching. I'll be like, it's not the same.
It's not coaching.
It's cheerleading. We don't have any no cheerleading rules. Do we?
Sonic, Sonic, Sonic. Oh,
Yeah, I deserve that.
Egg TVY. That's a great
I
tilt
deserve
screen,
that.
though.
Yeah, it is.
I am not going to beat him this time.
No.
Unless I have an incredible final ball. I will try again if the audience wants, instead of seeing more of the regular game. I love this. I love getting my butt kicked by Metal until I finally beat him, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I did it! I finally did it!
I know, right?
That's why I like
you
hard
have to
games.
fight the hard level bosses multiple times usually in any
Yeah.
video game, so it's not.
Ooh, lightning shield. That'll be
rare.
good.
Yeah, we like the lightning. Nice. All right, you're right there.
Got it?
Excellent. Here it goes.
Ah!
Oh.
It's alright, it's fine, it's fine.
Alright,
There's
lightning
one
shield.
use on the lightning shield. I got 2 uses left, unless I get an outlane, then I'm dead. Still, alright, little ramp pass and bonk.
Nice.
I think we're like halfway. We got a lot of work, but I've had crazier balls. And no, I'm dead.
Oh.
The tilt is not that sensitive. I'm just aggressive. Alright, do I want to try for that one more time, or you guys want to see more of the regular game?
Man,
That's never before seen. Anyone who's seen my stream before has never seen that, but they've seen the rest. So
that's
we can do
so
both.
intense.
I am here until you don't want me anymore. So
We are at our mark where we do usually stop, so we will start wrapping it up. But I think you should at least try it one more time because I
okay,
really want to see
I'll give it
it.
one more shot.
You're so
maybe I can.
close,
Maybe I
Ryan.
could. I might scoot this party over to my own stream if.
Yeah,
to make it a
yeah.
mess around
Is it
thing.
easy for you to do that, and then we can raid your channel?
Oh yeah, I can do that. All I have to
During
do is
this?
change it from camera mode to live stream.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
it.
I can
It's
put on
already
the
set
whole
up.
screen, and then we can send everyone to your channel after this.
All right, cool.
Which
Let
would
me,
be
yeah,
awesome.
let's do that.
Yeah.
We'll do this final
Yeah.
this final
Okay.
attempt.
Cool. Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Emoto, what is Game Genie for those of us who are not allowed to have Genesis in our house?
It wasn't just a Genesis.
Not
thing.
just
They
for
made them-
Genesis,
This
yeah.
company made it for all the different
Oh.
platforms.
So great.
Basically, it is a cartridge or a add-on or something that would take. It would be placed either in between your game cartridge and the console, or you would start it. You would boot the Game Genie and then move to another game.
Mm.
and it would let you cheat. It would let you enter cheat codes, and I'm pretty sure most of it worked via RAM manipulation.
Yeah.
So a lot of the games back then, all you really wanted to cheat was infinite lives and stuff like that. So all you really need to do is find the little byte in the game that says infinite lives, and then whenever the game tells the game to drop that by 1, Game Genie says, "No, I'm just not going to pass that command." Like, just no, you still have this, or it'll just be like, you know what, we're going to set that byte to 99 lives.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all they
all
would do.
sorts of different type of features. Yeah.
There would be a book that came with it, or you could look the cheats up on like magazines and stuff because there was no internet. Yeah. So you could get the Game Genie codes, and you would put that code into the Game Genie, and it would do something specific to your game. Or you could do whatever the heck you wanted and program in random codes. And it was not like, oh, that's not a known code. It's like, all right, I'll try. And it would like completely break your game, or you could discover new codes. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, those games back then were so hard, and a lot of them, Crystal, you didn't really have like, oh, it auto saves or you can save your game. A lot of times when you die in a level, it'll give you like a 6 to 9 digit alphanumeric kind of code that you plug in at the beginning of the game to start back at your progress. But for the games you really wanted to beat and see the story progress, you pop in that Game Genie, look up to get like you said, infinite lives, and then you can actually beat the game and see all the glory, And there's like other stuff like unlimited ammo. Or you can just give yourself the best weapon
in the game and obliterate everybody.
Or big
or be invincible. Yeah. Sometimes the game would just be, the whole point is,
no, we love
like,
the French
now you
here,
can't be hit. Like, now you just can't be
Always
hit
love
anymore.
the French.
So, like, the Game Genie was interesting.
Man, I love the game.
But a friend of mine mentioned it to me the other day.
Thanks for being in Patrick and RP Flip. We appreciate it.
So a friend of mine, when I was testing it and talking about it the other day, I was talking about how, like, I have this thing that like work me there. Please, game. Why do you gotta kill me like this? This is terrible.
Oh no.
I haven't hit him once yet, and I'm already on ball 3.
It's not looking good.
Not looking good. I'll keep trying on my own stream because the next phase is programmed. It's just not completed, so I can't beat the second phase. I can only like play it. But it's there. It has full graphics, and I would love it if I could actually pull it off and make it happen. But I kind of blew that other attempt earlier. So, but yeah, the Game Genie idea was a friend of mine mentioned it the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just gonna add it to Game Select as Game Genie because it's just
that's so great.
It's just like a 1 or a 0. It's like, is wizard mode lit? Yes or no? Like, and that's all it is. So when you pick that, it just gives you a random game and sets wizard mode to yes. So it's perfect for Game Genie. All right, so I made an even worse attempt at that one. So I guess I can scoot over and I can keep asking. I mean, I can keep answering questions and everything, but. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
No, thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, this was an awesome experience for sure.
It was super fun, and I'd love to show you the inside of it during Gaming Classic. So just let me know whenever you want to do that. We'll haul it up to your booth and tear it apart and ruin it. Maybe not ruin it, but
yeah, we look forward to it. Thank you so much, Ryan. I do have one last question for you because this kind of segues into our show next week at same time frame. Kyle is still out of town, so we're taking over with Homebrew Live. And next week we're going to have the Fast Pinball guys here.
Nice.
And so me being very ignorant to right there, Fast Pinball. Can you explain what is Fast Pinball?
All right, so. Fast Pinball, as you now should see on the screen. Yeah, there it is, Fast Pinball.
Yeah, good timing.
I cheated. I used the flippers to go back to it. Oh, age is real, protect yourself. Fast Pinball is a homebrew board set that will help you control your pinball machine. It is not a brain. It's not it's not a computer, but it's something you can plug into a computer that can take all your computery commands and tell physical parts what to do. So they have like driver boards, they have all kinds of different options to get your game up and running, and they are compatible with most of the I think all of the popular coding platforms for Mission Pinball and I think Skeleton Game. They can let you control any old pinball part you have lying around. You got a coil. You got a coil in a bin. Like you can throw it onto one of these fast boards, and that fast board will make it do something. So I have my scoop is from like some unknown game. A friend of mine mailed it to me because it just fit better than the one I was using. I have no idea what it was. I have no idea what I don't really know even the tech specs of the coil. I just know that I can give it a certain amount of power and it'll kick my ball out just fine. And like it does a lot of the work for you just by making a lot of that not matter as much. It does a great job of bringing everything together. They can also interface with certain driver boards from previous pinball like generations. That's the word I'm coming up with. So for like example, I think it can hook in directly to a Williams System 11 board, and it just use the driver board that's already there and use all the wiring that's already there. That's how you're getting Funhouse 2.0. You're just replacing the existing motherboard, and it's just controlling all of the subboards on its own. And so then you can write all new rules and everything. So that's what the Fast platform is all about. It is excellent. I have had nothing but good experiences with the Fast Pinball stuff. It's around the same price as the other things you might see used, the P3, P-Rock boards. I've heard nothing really bad about those either, but when presented with the choice between the two, it's like, well, it's Sonic. You got to go fast, so I had to go with Fast Pinball.
Good branding.
Fast they have a really good community.
P3.
We help each other a lot. So I mean, but
that's awesome.
Everywhere.
Very cool.
So and the real reason I chose it though was because it was what Mark was using for Metroid, and if I had a friend that was willing to help me, I wanted to have the same board set so he could help me with that too, and he did. So and Aaron's great. I've talked to him on many occasions, and you're in for a treat having him on the show for sure.
Awesome. And then Crystal, who do you have planned to talk from Fast Pinball next week?
Aaron, and I believe Brian as well, but I know for sure Aaron.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So
cool. Well, stay tuned for that, everyone. And thanks again, Ryan, for showing off your game. We're counting down the 3 weeks to when we get to play it at Midwest Gaming Classic. I know. I'm not ready. I'm ready to play this. I'm not ready for the show. I'm still recovering from Texas Pinball Festival, so.
I'm only kind of ready for the show. We'll see. It's going to be a really, really busy month.
That'd be great.
I will see you there.
A question from Benjo Wu. Are you able to use Fast Pinball to essentially reprogram modern games?
If their board set is supported by Fast, yes. That is exactly what they're doing. I don't know if it does, if it'll do the modern, like the Stern modern, what are they on, Spike 2 right now? I'm not sure if they came up with something different. But if as long as the board set is supported currently, then you can just drop a Fast Nano board in there, hook it up to the existing boards and wiring, and you can completely reprogram the game.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder, if you reprogram your game, that will most definitely void your warranty. So
what's a warranty?
Keep that in mind. Important to some people.
I had a shirt for years that said I void warranties, but then I realized that it had been years since I had a warranty.
You're the guy that pulls the tags off the mattresses. Yeah. Instant jail time.
Yeah, instant jail time right there.
Awesome. Cool. So go ahead and go live on yours, Ryan. And then I am going to put on our holding screen. And as soon as I see you up and live, we're going to raid your channel. And so everyone on Twitch, stick around so we can watch a cleaner version of Sonic Spinball. I apologize. He's kind of, fuzzy because I'm zooming him in and doing all this, virtual meeting stuff.
Good to me.
But it'll be even better on Ryan's
show. We won't be on Zoom anymore. That'll be a plus.
Yeah.
Although it's nice that this is possible at all. But anyway, thank you so much. I will see you over there.
Sounds good. See y'all. That was such an awesome stream. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Next week we'll be having Crystal interviewing the guys over at Fast Pinball, learn all about their boards and how they're helping the pinball community, the homebrew pinball. Alright, here we go. He is live, so we're gonna go ahead and raid and go watch some clean Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball.